Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today we're doing something pretty important. We're going on a deep dive into how personal transformation really happens. And we're not talking about, New Year's resolutions or just trying to be a little better.
No, not at all. This is about the big stuff.
Exactly. We're focusing on that fundamental, pivotal moment when a person's entire life can just shift.
And we have some really, I think, incredibly insightful material for this. We're pulling from some deep personal reflections, like those from Abdullah Al-Sultan, but also from more structured ideas like the courageous shift.
Right.
And what's so fascinating is that they just bypass all the complex life hacks. They cut straight to the core of it, the emotional, the internal catalyst for real change.
That's our mission today. We want to give you that shortcut, the actual mechanism for how these huge life changes happen.
Yeah.
Because the sources show it doesn't take a 5-year plan. It often just happens in a single moment, a moment of real clarity, of, internal honesty. So we're exploring the hidden lessons inside our struggles and really how to go from just being challenged by life to being actively transformed by it.
And the material, it sets a very serious stage. It basically says that this whole process, it has to start with discomfort. If you want profound change, you have to accept that struggle is, well, it's mandatory.
It's not optional.
Not at all. It reframes adversity. It's not just a random bad thing that happens to you. It's a necessary first step for growth.
The sources are so direct about it. They say life will, and I'm quoting here, shake you, challenge you, and push you to the edge.
Which sounds harsh.
It does sound harsh, but it seems to serve a purpose. It's not just something you have to endure. It's instructional.
That instructional quality is everything. That's the key. You see it in Al-Sultan's reflections. He says, every moment of struggle carries a hidden lesson.
And that's more than just building character.
Oh, way more concrete. The hidden lesson isn't just about endurance. It's about finding a specific, non-negotiable value that the struggle showed you were violating. Maybe you finally realized the true cost of procrastination or the mental price of needing everyone's approval.
So the pain isn't the point.
The
The revelation that the pain gives you is the point. So if the struggle gives you the lesson, the next logical question in the sources is, well, what do you do with that revelation?
And that brings us right to this critical internal moment that all these reflections identify. It's the moment when, after you've absorbed that lesson, life just whispers, enough.
That's powerful.
It is. And it's not external noise. It's an internal switch flipping.
Yeah.
It's an invitation to just pause and really look at the path you're on.
It's the difference between just suffering through something passively and then consciously deciding, I am done with this.
Yeah.
That one honest moment feels like the prerequisite for everything else.
It is. And we have to be clear, this enough moment is different from, say, a forced change, like losing a job or a breakup.
Yeah.
Those are external events. The enough moment is an internal pivot. It's that radical honesty where you say, no matter what's happening outside, I will no longer tolerate this internal state.
Wow.
And the sources are so clear. The transformation begins with that one honest moment with yourself. It has the power to shift your entire life.
Okay, so let's dive into the mechanism here. Once you recognize that enough moment, that deep feeling, how do you actually turn that clarity into action? Because seeing it is one thing.
But acting on it is definitely another.
Wow.
And this is where agency just comes roaring into focus. The sources are so powerful here because they put the responsibility entirely on you. The change isn't something you just wait for.
You have to choose it.
You have to actively select it.
We've got that amazing quote highlighted in the material. Your life can change in a moment, but you must choose the moment. But I have to ask, doesn't that sound a little too easy?
Yeah.
Too instantaneous?
It's a crucial question.
I mean, doesn't the effort that's required, even for the small courage we're going to talk about,
Yeah.
kind of undermine that whole idea of an instant change?
Yeah, and the sources, they actually clarify that tension. The change itself, the actual overhauling of your behavior, that is not instantaneous.
Okay.
What is instantaneous is the decision, the choice to change. That choice is available to you right now, but it needs that internal honesty, that enough moment to prepare the ground first.
So it's the difference between making a choice and executing it.
Perfectly put. The instantaneous part is the selection, the commitment. It's the mental pivot that just seals the deal on the transformation.
So the transformation is there. It's available the second you actually select it.
Yeah.
And if we connect that to the big picture, the sources seem to say the biggest blocker is just waiting.
Absolutely. The most destructive thing is waiting for the right time. Or waiting for the world to give you permission. It's a trap. Because as soon as the raw discomfort of the struggle fades a little bit, that whisper gets quieter.
And your motivation just resets.
It resets. The material suggests the perfect time. It just doesn't exist. It's an illusion we use to avoid the discomfort of actually making a choice.
So the choice has to be immediate.
Immediate and decisive. You have to capitalize on that raw, honest moment.
And that clarity is what keeps you going, even when everything else feels dark or impossible. The sources are really encouraging there. They remind us that the light, the agency, it's always internal, no matter what chaos is happening outside.
Right.
You find hope right there in that single moment of clarity.
And that one choice becomes the foundation for everything that comes next, which that does require sustained effort.
Okay, and this is where it gets really interesting for me. The sources stress that real transformation is driven by courage, not this paralyzing need for perfection.
Yes.
And that feels like such a monumental relief, because we usually assume you have to be flawless before you can even start.
We do assume that. And that assumption, that need for perfection, is, according to the courageous shift idea, the single biggest blocker after waiting. The inner shift requires courage, because taking that first honest step, it often means admitting you have flaws, or being vulnerable, or just stepping into total uncertainty with no safety net.
Can you break that down a bit more, the difference between courage and perfectionism in this context?
Well, perfectionism demands total safety. It wants guaranteed outcomes, and that just leads to, analysis paralysis.
Right, you never start.
You never start. Courage, on the other hand, is defined here as the willingness to act despite the guaranteed imperfection and the uncertainty.
Okay.
And the scale of the courage matters, too. We're not talking about some massive, life-altering, grand gesture right out of the gate.
That first step is always the hardest.
Yeah.
And the sources say small courage leads to big transformation.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Small courage is, it's making the choice to walk away from a bad habit just for today, or saying one difficult truth you've been avoiding. And when you take that small, courageous step and, the world doesn't end, you build self-efficacy. That's the mechanism. Small, honest acts, they validate your choice, and they build a momentum for the bigger changes.
And this feeds right into that resilience mindset the material talks about.
Okay.
It's that inner strength that helps you rise again with confidence.
Right.
It's about knowing that struggle and failure, they're part of the process. They're not a sign that you're fundamentally broken.
Exactly. It's that power that survives storms and rises after failure. But we need to be clear about what that power is. It's not some magic spirit. It's the learned ability to resist learned helplessness.
Ah, okay.
The sources basically assure you that you already have the cognitive tools, the emotional architecture to adapt and learn from your mistakes. That is the real strength.
Yeah, and I think the most powerful concluding assurance from all of this is a direct message to you listening right now.
Yeah.
You already have everything you need to begin. You don't need a new degree or a different partner or more money. The tools you need, the capacity for choice, and that reserve of small courage, they're already inside you.
It just simplifies the whole thing, doesn't it? The shift methodology says stop looking outside for permission or perfection. Start using the resources you already have, your values, your honesty, your ability to make a choice right now.
So let's just quickly synthesize this for you. Transformation, it starts when life whispers enough. That reveals a critical value that you're not honoring. You have to recognize that moment and then choose your time to act. Don't wait for perfection. Prioritize courage, even small courage, to get the engine started.
So what does all this mean for you right now? The sources conclude with this really powerful, motivating idea. Your story isn't finished. It's just beginning.
Love that.
This whole framework just clarifies that your ability to write the next chapter is instantaneous. It's entirely driven by your own agency, which leaves us with a really important question to reflect on. If profound, instantaneous change is really possible in the space of a single, honest choice, what selection will you make today based on the inner shift that you now recognize?
A phenomenal deep dive into the real architecture of transformation. Thank you for exploring this with us. And we really encourage you to go find that inner choice, that first moment of small courage, and start your story fresh.